Sports Orbit. We make the world go round.
Sport Orbit right here on the Leadership Podcast Studio. My name is Olawale Ayeni, and today we have a good sport package for you today because the return of the Champions League is on the table, and the Tigers are right there. Are going to defend the Afro basketball title. These and many more will come on the show today. But before we go on, I have to introduce my guest on the show today. We have Sadifo Smart Sports Editor, Leadership Newspaper.
Thank you. Good afternoon.
Of course, Alpha is happy return of the Champions League.
Yeah, I mean, after almost a year since we last saw a couple of months rather, not a year. The Champions League is back again. 2021-22 kicks off today. So let's see how that pans out, and hopefully there will be a new winner this time around.
Of course, hopefully there should be a new winner, but. Is it going to be Manchester United? We'll wait and see who will be the winner of the Champions League.
Never won it before.
Manchester United have won it, so they are not. It's not.
I mean, it's coming from the angle of the Cristiano Ronaldo.
No, that's not something. I said hopefully we might see a new winner. Maybe a PSG, for instance. A
Borussia Dortmund.
For instance,
of course. So we need to start from the home scene right about now, where the Tigers have actually landed in Yaoundé, Cameroon for the 2021 Afrobasket Championship. We know that they are defending champions of the Afrobasket Championship, and about 13 players have been listed for that particular event. Sadifu, do you see them retaining their title? We saw them doing exploits, defending the title back to back, going to the Olympics. We were hoping that they were going to replicate such performance that they did in the World Cup, but that didn't happen. But now is a new fresh start for the Tigers. Do you see them retaining that title for the top 10?
Well, the Tigers are the African champions, just like say back-to-back champions. They won the title 2017, 2019. And let's hope that whether they'll be able to defend to retain the title for the third time. And you are saying what happened at the Olympic. I hope what happened at the Olympic will not affect their morale, because the Tigers has proved that they are full of age. They went to the World Championship and put everybody wrong. Put everybody surprised. But we performed excellently at the World Championship. The first African team to get to the last 8. So, and they were ranked 18 at the championship, at the World Championship. So let's hope that what happened at the African Champion at the Olympic will not affect this particular team, just like their male counterpart. Although their male counterpart, there's no that the best player could not go to the Afrobasket team, but we have a full complement of the squad, the Tigers, and hope that the Otis and his girls will be able to most probably game. I have absolute confidence that if everything is in order, those guys are always ready to deliver, and I hope they will deliver. And I can see that the lack of Senegals will be their major threats. Let's see how it goes.
Let's see how it goes. Alpha, looking at Team Nigerian's group, their group alongside Mozambique and Angola. Do you see any of these two teams getting to upset the Tigers?
Well, like we say, sports has really changed these days. So sometimes it's really difficult to predict. Sometimes you expect a particular team to go all the way, and when they get into the court or the field of play, as the case may be, it turns out to be different. I mean, take for instance they just concluded Afrobasket. High hopes for the Tigers going into that one. Yes, we could make excuses that some of the stars who represented them at the Olympics were not, did not take part in that competition. So, but be that as it may be, I wouldn't want to make a prediction currently, because I really haven't taken time out to watch the Mozambique or the Angolans for me to say, the Tigers will, take them out just like that. These days, these things don't just happen like that in sports. So we'll see how they fare in their first game, first of all. So if they are able to come up good, then we can start saying, maybe they can go all the way. But I wouldn't know if they will still be able to defend their title, because every year teams get better, different teams get better, teams mature. You know, every team learn from their mistakes. They try to improve on their last performances. So I don't know if the Mozambicans will be a tough test, but let's see how.
The Angolas, because they are
Yeah, Angola, yeah, no, sure.
good.
Male counterparts, yes. Like I said, I haven't really watched their female team very well to really give a proper assessment of, you know, their game and how good they are. So, but I think the Tigers will be able to at least in this first, in this group stage, at least able to at least come up with at least some couple of points. It shouldn't be a situation where you'll be like, what happened in the Olympics, going to the competition with plenty of high hopes, then going to the competition proper, and at the end of the first round, couldn't even win any single game. But I hope it won't be the case. At least it's Africa. Still, there are still no minnows anymore. So I hope that they have a good outing. That's all I can wish for them.
Sorry for. Do you see them, retaining the title?
Even
Mozambique, Angola, just to start with.
even just to start with, even at, let me just skim it this way. Even at the Olympic, though they didn't win any match at the Olympic, but if you watch their match vividly, you will see that they play out their heart and they did very well. So I see the result didn't come their way. And coming against Angola, I don't know much about their female team, and I don't think their female team that strong as their main counterpart. Even their main counterpart, that was yesterday. You can't their main counterpart. What Angola when they used to dominate the basketball, that era has passed. So other African team has come up. Nigeria is already there. Tunisia is there. Tunisia is name there. Even Senegal are already coming up. So Angola they don't have that absolute dominant way they used to have in African basketball. And the main thing when it comes to the main team at the moment, if you look at the main team and the pedigree of the African women team, you can only see Nigeria. The only place I can see Nigeria, Senegal, but I don't see Mozambique, Angola be great for them in this group stage. Maybe when they get to the knockout stage and be able to get to meet the top team, that's where I was. But even as since the Otis have his full complement of his girls, and I struggle with everything that necessary to be put in place for this team. I'm going to do that. Any side structure, definitely they're going to be called proud. And I have absolutely that this team will get to the final again.
Alifo has absolutely believed that the team will get to the finals. But before we move on to the next story, let me just read out the countries in different groups. We have in Group B, we have Angola, Mozambique, and Nigeria. In Group B, in Group C, we have Mali, Ivory Coast, and Tunisia. Slogging out in Group D, while the host country will play Cape Verde and Kenya in Group A. They're wishing the Tigers or the Tigers or the best as they begin their campaign come September 17 to about 23 right there in Yaoundé, Cameroon. Still not talking about basketball at this point in time. You are ignorant of the rules. NOC hit back at Akida in that particular one. We know that reports actually came out actually making the rounds last week that where the chairman, caretaker committee of the Nigerian Basketball Federation, actually fingered NOC IOC for Team Nigeria's poor performance at the Olympic Games. But at this point in time, the NOC are hitting back, saying you are ignorant of what you're saying. Sanifo, you are at the Olympics and you saw what happened during the basketball event. Can you tell us what's really like that?
When like I said last week, when Kida came with these excuses that they were denying the opportunity to have their full complement of officials. And I remember, like I said last week, vividly, the spokesman of NOC. When we had that story, I asked the spokesman of NOC, and what has happened that the Nigerian teams were shortchanged of their officials. And it was clear that they said, it's not possible that the Nigerian team, the basketball team, came with 16 officials. And if they came with the 16 officials, there is no way by the Olympic rule and by the Olympic standard, they can't have that full complement of the officials to the match. And we are Olympic, we can only give you, based on the number of athletes who are official at the Olympic. And if they allow the basketball team to have they wanted, that means other sports will not have officials, will not have their coaches, will not have their officials at the game village. So, and last week, Kida came with a different excuse that that even, yes, that was the excuse they give them, what they told them, but how come that even other nationals that other Nigeria, other national, other teams that participated in the Olympics that with less contingent than Nigeria have full complement of their basketball technical officials. And we were critically yesterday that in that case, NOC has to come out and explain critically. And if you look at the NOC thing out yesterday, that Kida is displaying his ignorance. That despite that, after the basketball, the Tigers are officials at the two Olympics, and yes, yeah, and that's another angle to the story. The Tiger participated at the London 2012 Olympic, participated at the Rio 2016 Olympic. So by these two, by then, you should be able to know by Olympic rule and the Olympic IOC rule how many officials were entitled for the Olympic Youth, contrary to contrary to the FIBA basket. You know, FIBA rule is different from an Olympic rule. So and like according to Adetula's statement, they said that it is only football team sport that is classified under 15 officials. That is where you can only take by football you can only have 10, 15 and down to 5 officials. But basketball and other teams are classified according to other 10. By that other 10, you are only entitled to maximum of 3 officials. 3 officials which are one head coach, one coach, and one medical official. So I think, and at the same time, Adetula also said in this statement that even the IOC manager in terms of assistant management wrote to the NBBM in according to him last year, stating categorically the numbers of team, what is expected, what you are expected to have.
Exactly.
So why should, if you have duly informed and at the same time, like Adetula said, you are participating in two Olympics, by that time you should be able to know what the rules say.
Alpha.
Clearly, I mean,
Any addition?
if you remember when we had that story here, the first thing I said was this was just an excuse by Kida. When you go to a competition and fail, come out and say and apologize to Nigerians and say, sorry, fellow Nigerians, we were simply not good enough at the competition. And we'll accept your apology and give us a promise that next time around you put your house in order, put in all the necessary measures to ensure that you perform well, instead of coming up with all these kind of lame excuses. And thankfully enough, the NOC has come out to say that these are just excuses. Admit that you failed. You know these rules. You've been at the Olympics before.
Yes, 2 times.
2 times. So how come are you saying you've been participating in an event before and now you are trying to feign ignorance of the rules? It shouldn't be. Just say that we didn't do enough to go further in the competition, and we'll take excuse. We'll take it that as an excuse instead of coming out to say all this kind of things. Simply, Kida and your team, you failed.
At the same time, okay, what happened at the Rwanda, where you are allowed to have your full complement?
Exactly.
So
what's the excuse
in Nigeria that we hardly accept our failure, that yes, we made a mistake or admit that we have failed. But we try to every moment to justify.
You can't win all the time. So if you win, okay, if we had won now, what we have said that we played very well. But now we failed instead of saying we are giving excuses. Come on, it shouldn't be that.
Yes, sir. It shouldn't be that. That is coming from Alpha at this point in time. We head straight out to football, where FIFA is saying that over 300 billion spent on Nigerian players in the last 10 years. Looking at the transfer market, a total of $733 million was spent, translating to 300 billion. 300 billion on the purchase of players from Nigeria over the last 10 years. We know that Brazil occupied the #1 spot as a nation with about $7.1 billion in that particular, followed by France with $4.5 billion, and other countries that made up the 10 sports are Spain with 3.7 billion, Argentina with 3.2 billion, Portugal with 2.9 billion, Holland with 1.9 billion, Belgium with 1.7 million, Colombia with 1.7 billion, Germany with 1.7 billion, Britain with 1.3 billion, completing the top 10. But at this point, Nigeria is #1 rated country in Africa on the money spent on transfer of players. Sorry for quick one for going on the short break.
Well, what you asked there, okay, the money you mentioned is not a small money, but did it reflect
Nation's economy.
on our nation, on our football,
On our own
domestic
football,
football, not even economy?
Mhm.
Did it reflect on our football? And because when you say we have over, you're talking about over 300 million spent, million.
Naira.
It's billion on
Naira.
Naira.
About $733 million.
300
Which translates to about 300 billion naira.
That's a whole lot of money.
Yeah.
That is more than
Yes.
that's almost 3 times of some of the state budgets.
Of course.
Of
course.
10 years, and at the same time, but what you ask is, they reflect on our football, and it goes to show that Nigeria is the biggest exporter of football to the world.
Yes.
We export a lot of football from this country to the world, and I hope that the Nigerian Football Federations, those who are in charge of our football, to be able to key into it and how it benefits us. But any player moving from this country, there's a certain percentage that gets to you.
Definitely.
But oftentimes we are lacking this statistic. They provided this statistic and how much we realize from the transfer of players over the years. No. So we need to, even we as journalists, sometimes we need to even go more to be able to dig in to the NFL to find out how much the NFL will make from this platform within the years. And if where is this money going to? Is it going to private pocket, or is it being reinvested into the football? The answer is no, because there's nothing to show that the money earned from football is being invested into football.
Afa, if I come to you, we'll go for a short break. When we'll come back, Champions League is on the table for you today. Don't go anywhere. This is Sports Orbit.
Sports Orbit. We make the world go round.
Welcome from that short break. It's still Sports Orbit right here on the Leadership Podcast Studio. Alpha, looking at this particular money, 300 billion, spent on Nigerian players for transfer over the last 10 years.
Just like Sally said, I mean, this money has not reflected in any way, be it on our league, on our football. Because, I mean, like we were talking off camera, for all of these transfers, one way or the other, this money trickles down back into the system here. But where does this money go to? There's really nothing to show that, okay, from what we've made over the years from football, these are sort of the kind of development projects we've been putting into the game over the years. Nothing to show for it. But on the other hand, on the positive side, it goes to show how much value generally Nigerian football, plays on exactly on. I mean, the continent number one in Africa, in the world. I think we're 17. Yeah, but so it goes to show how much Nigeria brings to the game of football. How much impact we've made on the game of football globally. So good one. But I think going forward, there should be a way in which we have a proper and accurate data, in which we are able to properly streamline all of this amount. Because, I mean, I remember some years back the transfer of when Taiwo moved from Lobby Stars to Marseille. It was a direct transfer, and Lobby Stars got about £200,000 as of then for that big money as of that transfer. But you couldn't say of anything that Lobby Stars did. I'm sure that money was just shared about, between the chairman, the board, and a few of the top management people around, and that's it. Nothing development was put into Lobby Stars. Exactly, and a lot of Nigerian clubs like that. You see,
opened up for players.
Some of these deals, even if they don't buy them directly, but they have all these salon deals.
Yes, of course.
At the end of the day, the parent club of exactly where that
will still
benefit. But once this money comes, this money is shared among the board members and top management, and that's it. You still hear cases of salaries are being owed by this club, and country. Go to Argentina, same thing. this money comes back to them.
Mm.
They've developed their game, and that's why they keep on churning out superstars every year. I mean, every year you must hear of 1, 2, 3 Brazilian players who are making global headlines. It's because of the investment that they've been able to consistently inject into the back into the league at home.
And to add to it, the Brazil you just mentioned, football is one of the major sources of
course.
and but in this country,
Mm.
how much is Nigeria
Exactly.
as a country, any from
From
football?
football.
Despite that, we are making exporting a lot of players from this country from that country.
Mhm.
And just like you see, more if not until we allow sport to be run as business in this country, nothing will work. Because most of the clubs we have in this country are being run by government, and government just appoint whoever they feel appointed. Government
just to jump for the boys,
government provides for
political
provide for government pay salary. Pay salary of those players.
Yes.
Say government pays salary of those players. Then what now? And the government governors will check. Will not even ask question. How much is the club itself generating?
Exactly.
And just like the player example, if you remember our 2 weeks ago, the story about the Bayelsa Queen, our 4 players that were signed by Sweden club, and when the club chairman was saying that those players are already no more the Bayelsa player.
Yeah.
It's one of those deals.
Of course.
Because he now said that because they are now saying no, they have already play out their contract with Bayelsa. They are free player. So if you think this is kind of the thing that happened in this country, club chairmen milk club a lot, and without people giving an account of how they run the club, and that's why it's the same government that provide for pay the salaries of the players. So, in fact.
Of course, club management, we need to look into it. It's right time for the government to actually hands off the management of football, generally a club in Nigeria. Let's have private individuals getting to run those clubs for effective, management and also accountability in the part of the club. Moving ahead to the foreign scene at this point in time, we head straight to the news that everybody is actually waiting for at this point in time. It is the return of the UEFA Champions League, talking about the biggest club competition right there in Europe, where action will actually return today. We're going to see live matches. We see the likes of Barcelona and also Bayern Munich rekindling their rivalry in Europe at this point in time. Quickly, let's look at Barcelona, Bayern Munich. They'll be struggling down today in their first group game in the Champions League. What should we expect? Fireworks? Should we expect knowing fully well that the certain, Messi is not in the mix anymore for Barcelona?
That notwithstanding, just like I listened to Manuel Neuer this morning, he said the fact that Messi is not even in Barca, it makes Barca even a more unpredictable team. It makes them even a more dangerous team. And I think that's the truth, because in past time when Messi was there, that okay, we have a certain level. Messi.
Even the last time Messi was there, Bayern Munich demolished Barcelona 8-2.
Yeah, fine, but if you still go back 2 or 3 seasons back, Barca have given Bayern same treatment too. So big sides always have a way of cancelling each other every now and then. So but I expect a very, very tough encounter. Bayern has a solid squad. Same for Bayern, even without Lionel Messi, Barca for instance, even without Messi. I mean, a couple of players who they brought in.
Griezmann,
yes, left. I mean, but the play is doing fantastically well. So far, so good. So, but I really expect fireworks in that match. And good enough, it's just the group stages. So, whichever way, at the end of the day, I still expect these 2 teams to still go through to the next round.
Of course, Salifo, before I come to you, other matches are going to be decided today. We see Dynamo Kiev host Benfica. Young Boys will actually battle Manchester United. Villarreal will be up against Atalanta. Sevilla will actually battle and lock horns against Salzburg. LOCS will play Wolfsburg. And Chelsea, of course, they'll host Zenit Petersburg later today. Then Mamo will host Juventus in that particular one. Looking at the Champions League fixtures that we have for you today. Salifu, let's get your reaction.
Well, it will be a very tough game tonight, but they are all actually sorry. The whole focus will be at the Camp Nou when the Bayern and the Barcelona will slug it out. The other clubs like the Youngs and Manchester United, everybody expects the United will have their day. top of Serbia's and the German side. Serbia's and give to the Swedes. They also have their way. Chelsea and the Sport.
That's another big match.
But I said, no matter Chelsea survive, Chelsea will win this match.
Actually, I'm looking for, I think,
Dynamos
the Villarreal Atalanta will be an interesting match.
We are also an interesting match. So, and another thing is that yes, the Champions League is back, and one thing we're likely going to do that is another time for the players, the record breakers, to also make a record. Now many players have to make a move, change the club. Messi is no longer in the Camp Nou, is now at the BSB. Ronaldo has moved from Juventus, he's back to where he started. He started making his name. So, and a whole lot of them, Lukaku's left time around is now in the CLCB trying to do well. Major players, Aguero has moved in the Camp Nou. Many players have changed. So it is now another opportunity for them to make a great record and try to show what they are going to do. I expected Ronaldo that. He's one guy that's always looking for a record to break the record and making a new move. So definitely, the Ronaldo we are going to see this night is a different Ronaldo all came together, willing to show what he knows how to do the best. So good for the fans. The action is back, and at the same time for the another business of it for the bettors, for the bookmakers. So all of them, I believe everybody's on his phone now, trying to log in and to predict the score and then to make money. So I wish everybody good luck. Wish the player good luck. I wish the bookmakers, the bettors who are making money from the business, to also good luck.
Of course, Alpha, let's quickly get a rundown, a reaction. Matches decided that today.
Yeah, sure. Like I said, looking forward to the Villarreal Atalanta. The Barcelona Bayern will be also an interesting one. Of course, I think Lille Wolfsburg will also be a match to look forward to. But for Malmo, Juventus, well, I can't really predict since Ronaldo left Juventus. Juventus apparently have yet to win any game since this campaign began. In fact, the Serie A, they currently sit at the 16th position, which is really, really terrible for Juventus. At a point, they said Ronaldo was the problem, so they had to let him go. But now that he's gone, we're actually seeing that he was actually helping the team.
Of course.
But when you are playing a team where you are playing with dead wolves around you and you leave, and now it's clear to see that, the Juventus team was completely finished. No, but that's the truth of the matter.
Juventus team are completely finished.
It's finished because since they are yet to win any game, where Juventus, a club like Juventus, are lying 17th in the Serie A. So let's see what they have to offer against Malmo tonight. I hope they are able to do something. Of course, Dynamo, Benfica, that should be another interesting one. Dynamo, no doubt, are not pushover Ukrainian giants. Benfica, of course, we all know their pedigree when it comes to European competitions. Also, three-time winners
group finishers.
Three-time winners of that competition, actually. So of course, Chelsea's Zenit St. Petersburg. Zenit shouldn't really give Chelsea much problems. I doubt if they will. Then Sevilla, Red Bull. Red Bull, Salzburg is not a bad side either. It's a very decent side.
Of course.
So young boys, Man United. Well, as the young name suggests, young boys. I hope United will really show them that Champions League is actually
of course
a competition where you separate the boys from the men.
But they can actually give Manchester United a run.
Well, we hope to see that, but it will be an upset if they actually eventually do that. So I hope to see a great games all round tonight.
Of course, just in the less than 1 hour 10 minutes action. We return in the Champions League where young boys will actually host Manchester United. Let's see if the CR7 factor will actually get to work for Manchester United at that time. Hopefully, we should see more action coming from those particular team. Away from that, I'm sure that we're going to be giving you all the updates. Just hook up on to the leadership website. www.leadership.ng for you to get all the latest news across the world when it comes to the Champions League. Away from that, we head straight to the ATI Stadium at this point in time, where Pep Guardiola says he wants to build a winning Manchester City team going forward. At this point in time, they have won virtually all the title in England. Just remaining the Champions League at this point in time. They'll be looking forward this season. But Salifu, do you see a certain Pep Guardiola? He has looked for the Champions League trophy, but at this point in time, he's not getting to actually to lift it in as Man City.
I suppose I don't want to serve as a prophet of doom. I think the time is running out of Guardiola.
And he actually said after this season he wants to leave Man City.
He had the opportunity to win it last year. I expected
that was
his best opportunity.
To win it.
When they get to the final against Chelsea, I thought I gave it to him that they're going to win.
Yeah, I did too.
But unfortunately, the new Chelsea man did the magic. I don't know how that man does that thing.
But also to Pep in that match, Pep completely got his tactics wrong.
Wrong.
No, of course. Can we say it's like a progression? Season before last season, they ended up in the semi-final. Last season, they ended up in the finals. Can we see them actually winning the Champions League this year?
But even before Guardiola came, Man City, I think either Pellegrini or so had taken them to the semi-final. So
No.
Pellegrini or Anthony Machine?
no, they've made the semi-final.
Of course, yes.
Even before Guardiola came, yes. They've made the semi-final once, but they were knocked out. So but I think last season was their best chance of winning it. I doubt if they'll be able to do it this time again, especially now that they've been playing without a striker. I really feel that when they meet a team who's properly organized, they will encounter serious problems.
Just like I said, I thought just a bit, the time is already out of it's already run out of Guardiola. I don't see him winning the Champions League. But nothing is impossible.
Sure.
But if you look at it, just like if you look at the domestic league this season and the way club football is going to be this season, it will be a different ballgame. Many clubs have forced their sport, and those years, in fact, I think this year is the year that you can never predict who is going to likely win Champions League. If you have to mention that, you can mention most of our 5 club potential that they are sure of getting the final. So it will be very, very tough to predict who will win Champions League. And I don't see Manchester United confident at all, unless they have to do more to convince them.
Of course, Manchester United has to do more to confuse Salifu if they are actually champions in the making when it comes to the Champions League. In your own opinion, who do you see getting to win the 2021/2022 Champions League? Head straight to our Facebook page and also our YouTube page. Get to send your message and we get to take it from there. Before we go, let's just quickly tell you that judoka and coach has been banned for 10 years after they actually refused to play, and the Israeli athletes had just concluded Olympic Games. This is where we hit the brakes for Sport Orbit today. I must thank Salifu and Alpha for coming on the show.
Always a pleasure.
Of course, we can't go down to say big thank you to you, our viewers, for actually staying with us through the course of the show. We'll make a return bigger and better tomorrow when we'll bring another fresh edition of Sport Orbit right here on the Leadership Podcast Studio. But for now, I'm saying bye-bye. Do have a good day ahead of you. My name is Olawale. Bye-bye for now.